Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we are going to initiate coverage on Square stock, ticker symbol SQ, and it trades on the New York Stock Exchange. So this is kind of an experiment. I'm doing a video upon request. So let's just start off by talking a little bit about Square. First off, I'm sure you've seen them everywhere. I know I have, but they're the little small card reader that you will find on the ends of iPads and iPhones and any kind of Android device. And basically, it's the smaller businesses that are, giving themselves an immediate way to make transactions. Okay, and Square operates similar to a credit card company. That's how their business model works. It takes a cut of the transaction. It takes 2.75% per swipe, or I believe 3.75% plus 15 cents for manually typed transactions. So if they've ever taken the credit card out of your hand and typed it in manually, they get a little bit more of a transaction cost for that. And they also have other products and software, but the main focus of the company is the Square readers. Now I see them kind of popping up here and there in my area, but last year in 2016 we took a road trip all over the United States, and I bet I seen 500 Square readers in about a week's time. So they're very, very popular in resort areas and travel locations also. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at some of the pros of Square stock. So this is the 2-year chart. They IPO'd back in November of 2015, so they've only been on the market for 2 years. But as this chart would suggest, they are in absolute full-on growth mode. As you can see right here, even over the past couple of months where they got out of the teens, and now they are way up here in the 40s, and it's resting at $44.18 a share. So this company has just had growth rate all over it. And even just to put it in some perspective is that the high-flying NVIDIA has run 127% year to date. Meanwhile, Square has run 242% this year. So from November of last year, where it looks like it closed around $12, and I'm just kind of picking a day here, but looks like it closed around $11 to $12, and now it's up over 40. So this company has just had an amazing run. So over the last 4 quarters, you can see here, going back to Q4 of 2016, they have beat on estimates and beat on revenue 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive times. They had guidance risen 4 consecutive times. Actually 5, because this was the last quarter. They just reported a couple days ago. And then they got their guidance upgraded again for quarter 4 2017. So you can't ask for better earnings reports than this. You can't ask for better performance on earnings. This is remarkable right here. You don't even see most of the big tech companies performing this well. So outstanding. So some other big exciting news just hit Square recently too, is that they actually launched a Bitcoin pilot, and that made shares run up quite a bit. The article says that Square has rolled out the ability to buy and sell Bitcoin to certain users of its Cash app with purchases as easy as swiping right. And it made shares. Now, I don't know what side of the fence everybody stands on with Bitcoin. A lot of people are very bullish on Bitcoin. A lot of people are very bearish about Bitcoin. But most people are confused about Bitcoin. And so this doesn't necessarily point in a bullish direction. This kind of has to stay in step with your personal belief on Bitcoin and its performance. Alright guys, now comes the ugly part. Is that one strike against Square right off the bat is that they've only been on the market for 2 years. Now this doesn't mean they're a bad company. This just means our research is incredibly limited on what all we can look at in long-term regards to this company. when I sit down and start thinking about the stock I want to buy, I want to be able to look at least 5 to 10 years of data on them. And that's just impossible. With Square, they IPO'd in 2015. So this is, this short amount of time where they've run up really, really sharp, might be misleading. It might not tell the whole tale. And another thing too, guys, is that this company does not pay a dividend. And I don't like to make everything about a dividend. But the real problem I see with this company, guys, is that they're not profitable at all. Okay, they don't even have a registered PE ratio, so they don't have a trailing PE ratio. Now the forward PE ratio is 102.74, which is ridiculously high. And another metric that bothers me, guys, is that the short percent of float sits around 9.4%. Now, for me, that's just a little bit too high. When I sit down and I start deciding whether I'm going to invest in a company or not, one of the big metrics I'm going to look at is how many shareholders are short, because that can create a damning effect for the good or bad. But it's too much unnatural pressure on a stock. So I'm going to have to rate Square as a speculative buy, and nothing more and nothing less. Guys, this is an example of a company that is growing very fast, has amazing growth potential still, but it does not have any true value and does not produce profits. So if you do decide to invest in Square, my suggestion would be to use a small piece of your portfolio, 5% or less. And guys, don't chase this stock. If it decides to go down, just cut your losses and move on. But do not chase an unprofitable company. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about Square stock. Let me know what you think about the company. Leave it in the comments section below. I'd love to have a discussion about it. And please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this material, and have a very good day, and thanks for watching.